Welcome to Drone Pilot MBA and Drone Business Insider.
How are you? Glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk about the 10 most costly mistakes drone pilots can make when starting their businesses. And we're going to also talk about the solution, how to avoid these issues. So it's a problem-solution approach, critical thinking today. Starting a commercial drone business, as you likely already know, can be incredibly rewarding. But if you don't set things up right, it can be a real tough flight. Whether you're just getting started or you're already in the air, these mistakes can set you back in so many ways. So let's dive into what they are, why they happen, and then how you can navigate them smoothly. We're going to be about examples, the mistakes, the fixes, and I got pro tips for you. Today, we're talking about taking a preventative approach in setting up a new drone business done right. Now, you don't want to miss 1 inch of this Drone Pilot Business Strategy Session podcast. Here's your first pro tip. If you take in nothing else about drone business strategy for the rest of this entire year, you need to know and apply everything I'm about to share with you. So please pay close attention, for the drone business you save will be your own. So let's get profitable, and then let's stay that way. All right, let's talk about number 1, which is lack of market research. You got to know your market before you launch. All right, let's talk about something very important. You got a drone, and that's good. You take some nice pictures. That's good too. But here's the thing. You think that's all there is, and that's what it takes? No. That's just because you can fly a drone doesn't mean people are going to throw money at you. Oh, no way. It's not how it works. And if you've been at this for a couple of minutes, you know what I'm talking about. Here's an example. Here's John, for instance. He's a good guy, full of enthusiasm, jumps right into the wedding video photography world with his drone. No research, no plan, just a dream and a propeller. And after months of struggling to book clients, guess what? It finally hits him. Couples aren't exactly lining up to book drone specialists for their big day. What they want is a full wedding video, not just a few fancy aerial shots. Meanwhile, over in real estate, business is booming. Realtors are desperate for high-quality drone footage. If John had just done a little market research, he would have seen where the real opportunity was. But nope, John learned the hard way. Here's the mistake. Too many drone pilots assume that just having a drone and snapping a few great photos is enough. But they either forget or they don't know a key part of business is knowing your market. Who actually needs your drone services? What are your competitors offering? And are you even pricing your work in a way that keeps your business afloat? If you don't have these answers, you're not running a business. You're playing a very expensive game of trial and error. All right, how do we fix this? Well, number 1, we got to find our ideal customers. Are you serving real estate agents, event planners, construction companies? Pick your lane. You determine your target audience. Nobody else. You choose. Then you got to study your competition. Who else is out there? What are they charging? And what services are actually getting booked? Because if you're flying blind, you're flying right into a wall. And then you got to validate demand. You got to talk to potential clients. You got to find out what they actually want and need, not what you think they need. This is where you team your gut with actual due diligence. You've got to get in and find the facts, because what you think they need and what they really need are two very different things. So here's a pro tip for this one. Want to get ahead? show up where your clients are. Attend industry events, join online forums, and actually listen to the people who might hire you. Because let me tell you, if you don't know your market is never going to know you. All right, let's talk about money as we move into number 2, poor financial management. You got to plan your budget like a pro. Let's talk about money here, because if you don't handle it right, you won't be in business for long. And believe me, nobody wants to go from flying high to flipping burgers just to pay for their drone payments. Here's an example. Let's meet Sarah. Sarah's pumped about her new drone business. She drops $5,000 on the best gear money can buy. Top-tier drone, fancy lenses, all the bells and whistles. But then guess what? She forgot a few things, like insurance, marketing, software, etc., etc. You know, the little things that actually keep a business running. A few months in, she's out of cash and has to take a part-time job just to stay afloat. Now, if she'd started with a small budget, maybe gone with a more affordable setup, she might still be soaring instead of scrambling. Here's the mistake. Too many drone pilots underestimate what it really costs to run a business. I did an entire research paper on this, and you'll find it at aerialnorthwest.com. How to go through and find out what it's going to cost you to do business, but then how much money you need to make to stay in business and become profitable and to grow, to evolve, right? Check it out. Go over to the Drone Pilot blog at Aerial Northwest. Help yourself. Over 180 articles over there for you. Go in there and search in there for drone pricing, and you'll get 3 or 4 of my papers. It's there for you. Help yourself. All right. Now, as I said, too many drone pilots are kind of clueless when it comes to all these costs. Some you can see, some you are not aware of. And if you're not a big business person or have some sort of a background, it's easy to miss these things because how do you know? And then there's a lot of jack all over the internet that give you little granulars of this and that. I don't know how many other MBA'd drone pilots there are out there. There's probably a bunch of us. We ought to all get together and really put together a consortium to really get to the bottom of this thing and help really build this industry for all of us, because it's going to take marketing. No matter how great DJI is, Autel, or anybody else, without marketing, nothing sells, you see. Think about that. That's kind of an opportunity. I'll have to jot that down and get right on that. I'll sleep when I'm dead. They just think about buying the drone. They think about making the money. They think about living the dream. But no, it's buy the drone, buy insurance, pay for software, spend on marketing, pay for gas, update gear, on and on. And if you undercharge for your work, now you're flying straight into a financial nosedive, graveyard spiral. All right, let's talk about fixing the problem. First of all, we have to set a real budget. That means we have to factor in everything: gear, insurance, software, fuel, marketing, and many more, so you're not caught off guard, right? Remember, we talked about this program's about being preventative. We want to catch these things, these potential faux pas, before they occur, so we don't have to go back and clean up on aisle 5. Then we want to price our services properly. Our rates should reflect our time, our skill level, the expenses. That includes the drive time. Let's say you're driving 2 hours there and 2 hours home. That's 4 hours you can't be flying. Who's going to eat that expense? That's part of your billing, and you want to consider that. I've got materials for you. You can help yourself to that on the Drone Pilot blog at aerialnorthwest.com. An entire paper and an entire cheat sheet to show you how to price every little detail about your drone business. I'll put it in the link below. Now, you also want to make sure not only that you're pricing your services properly, but you also want to separate business and personal finances. Don't commingle your funds. If you're paying for groceries with your drone money, you're doing it wrong. All right? Have your own, like we do, LLC, and then we've got a business account there, and then I've got my own personal stuff, right? My own military account, whatever I got. You got yours, but you just keep them separate. Don't commingle. Now, here's a pro tip. You can use a spreadsheet. How about Google Sheets, Excel, whatever works? There's online platforms for a few bucks a month. You can have them track everything for you and have the database all set up and secure. But track every expense, everything. If you're consulting, if you're going out to scout a location, everything expense. I paid for gas to get to the location, right? I'm on the phone with the client. That's time. You bill for your time. All right? Because I think I'm making money is not the same as knowing you're making money. So plan smart, price right, and don't let bad budgeting ground your business before it even takes off. All right, let's talk about number 3, which is no clear business model. Okay? Ship without a rudder. So you got to define how you're going to make money. So this is pretty important. Having a clear business model is crucial. You got to know where you're going, right? Where's your plan? Where's your destination? Because if you don't know what you're selling, how the heck is anyone supposed to buy it? If you can't define what you do, how are you going to pitch it? I fly a drone. I take pictures. That's nice, Frank. That's very good that you do that. Now run along and play. I mean, that's silly. You see what I mean? Nobody does that, but you know what I'm talking about. Here's an example. Let's meet David. He's a good guy, talented drone pilot. But his business is a complete shit show. He's doing real estate, weddings, inspections, construction. If you needed drone footage of your backyard barbecue, he'd probably offer you that too. But here's the problem. When you try to be everything to everybody, you end up being nothing. If everything's an emergency, nothing's an emergency. Clients had no idea what he specialized in. And guess what? He was a master of nothing and a jack of everything. His booking suffered. Then David got smart. He woke up, smelled the coffee, the roses, and then he went, hey, I'm going to focus on real estate. Put together clear service packages, and suddenly, oh my goodness, look at you go. Yeah, his business took off. Crazy how that works, huh? So here's the mistake. A lot of drone pilots start out with no real plan. They think of the word business plan, and they immediately go into a coma. No. A short little business plan can go on one page. You got to know your mission. What is your why? What are you going to say about the difference between you and your competitors? How would you describe your business? How would you describe every service? So you got to have a plan. It's always nimble and dynamic because it's always moving. The plan is not solid. It is not cement. It's very fluid, but you've got to begin with the plan. Just like you'd plan a flight. Your flight plan, it business plan, see? And they think, well, I'll just offer everything and see what sticks. When potential clients can't figure out what makes you special, they're going to move on to someone who does stand out. You want to be vanilla? Clueless? Remember, success breeds success, doesn't it? People want to hang out with those that are confident and successful. So what's the fix here? Well, first of all, in David's case, pick a profitable niche. Is it real estate for you? Is it agriculture, construction? Find what works for you, and then you go all in. But that's part of planning. Then you got to create service packages. Don't just charge per flight. Make it easy for clients to understand what they're getting. And then you want to look for recurring revenue. This is one that's often missed. Remember, I told you at the beginning of today's program, don't turn that dial. There's things in here that you're going to need to hear that are going to be very important, because if you don't, I guarantee you're going to screw them up. And you're going to go, damn it, why didn't I just settle down for 20 minutes and listen to Marino? I've already bumped my head, and I still do. We all do. We help each other, right? I just take my academia and my years of experience in business as an entrepreneur and drone pilot and aviator, and I plug it into here to try to help my friends. That's what happens, right? But I still go out and do stupid stuff. So what? We learn. But at least if I'm giving it to you ahead of time, it's like I'm giving you some weaponry. I'm giving you a way to defend yourself against this. Help yourself, please. And don't be stingy. Share this with your friends. If you think it's going to help them, give it to them. You can do the monthly contracts. Remember, you can do retainers with clients. Before you do the work, take 50%, maybe more, maybe the whole thing. Steady work beats one-off gigs every time. So if you can, and then those referrals, ask for the referrals. Who else do you know that could use what I'm doing? Not do you know? That's a closed-ended question. Ask them an open-ended question. Who, what, why, where, when, how. Who do you know? How soon do you think you'll know? Where do they live? I mean, whatever. Who, what, why. So that way they answer with a statement and it's now a conversation rather than them going, no. And then you're standing there like a dunce. Here's a pro tip. Stick to one audience at first. So love takes time. Remember that. Got to build that relationship. Rather than being fast and furious with your pants on fire, you want to be a little bit more calm and confident you want to be smooth and steady, right? Rather than fast and furious. But don't try to do it all in one day. That's another thing. A lot of people will do that. And it's a fast track to nowhere. You're going to burn your bridges. So you want to define your business. You got to know your value. Because if you don't, they're not going to ever get the clue. And you want to make it easier for clients to say, yep, you're the one I need. All right, number 4. Trying to do everything alone. The Lone Ranger solo. And even the Lone Ranger had Tonto. I loved that show when I was a kid. It was all already in reruns. I loved that program. I'll Silver Way. He always won every time. I think one or two times they got they got him one time. They might have got him on the chin or something. But it was funny because right after he'd get in like a fight and roll around out there in the dirt, he would pop right back up, continue fighting, and then when they were all done, everything was just like it got back from the cleaners. I don't even know how they did that. The magic of Hollywood. Well, listen, running a drone business is like making a great movie, a television show. You can't be the director, though, and the cameraman and the editor all in one time. And the guy selling popcorn simultaneously, like a maniac. At some point, you got to get some help. So here we're going to meet Mike now in this example. Mike's a hard worker, loves flying his drone, but he also thinks he has to do everything himself. Shoot, edit, market, manage clients, properly make his own coffee, too. And guess what? It's not working. He's buried alive. He's buried in editing, missing deadlines, and turning down new drone jobs because he's stuck in front of his laptop tweaking footage all day and night. Then Mike wised up finally, outsourced his editing, freed up hours of his time, and then suddenly he's booking more clients now, flying more, and actually enjoying his business again. So here's the mistake. A lot of drone pilots think they have to be a one-man, one-girl army. But trying to do everything, flying, editing, marketing, scheduling, only leads to burnout. And nobody's at their best when they're running on fumes. Here's the fix. Number 1, stick to what you do best. Remember, we talked about the one thing. Love flying? Focus on that. Hire an editor or a marketing pro to handle the rest. Number 2, use automation tools. Oh my goodness, they're all over. You got HoneyBook out there. There's so many. And these can handle client management so that you don't have to. And then network and collaborate. Work with other pros. How many forums are you already attached to? How many people in the forum that's focused on the same vertical industry that we are? Ask the questions. Hey, anybody out there have any ideas about who might be able to help me do X? Work with other pros. Maybe it's a photographer. Maybe it's a social media manager. It's an editor. This will lighten your load. So here's a pro tip. Use task management tools. You got Trello and Asana. I mean, there's just a list out there. Make a list. See what eats up your time. What's the time, the minute burner? And figure out what you can outsource. Because trust me, when you stop trying to do it all, you can finally do what you do best. Work smarter, not harder, and let your business fly instead of crash and burn. All right, here's a good one. Number 5, ignoring marketing and branding. You got to build a strong online presence. You know what's crazy? Some drone pilots actually think that if they just take amazing footage, clients will magically find them. Like, oh, I'll just sit back and the jobs will just come pouring in. Yeah, that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. So here's an example. Let's take Emily. Super talented. Her drone footage, absolutely delizioso. It's beautiful, stunning, bella. But here's the problem. Nobody knew about it. You might make a great quilt, but if you hide it in the closet, how are you going to sell it? No website, no social media. She didn't even have a business card. She was basically invisible. Then Emily, the light came on. She got smart. She started posting on Instagram, sharing her work, engaging with potential clients. Listening to this program didn't hurt her either, I'll tell you right now. And boom, within a month, she booked 5 clients. Just like that. So the mistake here is thinking that great work alone will bring clients is like making an Oscar-worthy movie and never releasing it. If no one sees it, it doesn't matter how good it is. Right? Here's the fix. Get a professional website. It's not very expensive. A few dollars a month. Showcase your portfolio. Get it out there. Services, your contact info. Make it easy for clients to find you. And for God's sakes, get yourself a Google profile. For local business, local geo business, oh my goodness. Once you got your website up and your business all set up and organized, make sure you get your business profile. People will find you. Also, you want to be active on social media. Don't be invisible. Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. These are all gold for drone pilots. Post consistently, though, and remember to engage with people. Engage and maybe even get them to try to be interactive with your post, but stay visible. And you want to invest in SEO and ads. Now, make sure when somebody searches for your drone services, make sure they find you, especially when it's in your area. We want to make sure your name pops up first. And that's why I talked about moments ago your Google profile once you get your business established. You want to apply for that. They'll send you out a little card to your business address. You plug it into your computer. They verify it's you, and in short order, boom. Doesn't cost you a dime. Just a little bit of time, a little bit of patience. Pro tip, optimize your website for search engines naturally. And a lot of these platforms, whether it be WordPress or you're out there using whatever, GoDaddy, whatever it is you use for your Bluehost, HostGator, make sure your websites are SEO'd, search engine optimized. If your site doesn't show up and someone Googles drone photography near me, you might as well be flying in the dark. The bottom line is don't be a ghost. Get out there. Show off your work and let clients find you. Number 6 is a beauty. Hiring the wrong people too soon. You got to scale at the right time. Look, I get it. You're excited. You've got your drone business up and running, and you're thinking, I need a team, an assistant, a second pilot, maybe a guy to bring me coffee. Wait a minute, Spielberg. Let's pump the brakes here for a second. Here's James, for example. He learned this the hard way. He hired an assistant and a second pilot before he even had any steady clients. Well, 3 months later, he's pretty much toast. And now he's the boss who has to let people go. And this is not fun and definitely not necessary. The mistake is hiring too early when your revenue particularly isn't steady. I mean, it's like building a skyscraper on quicksand. You're going to sink fast. The fix? Start lean. Do the essential tasks yourself until you have a reliable income. Use freelancers and contractors when necessary. You need help? Bring in people on a per project basis instead of full-time hires. And then you only want to hire when demand justifies it. So when you're scanning the environment, looking around your particular sector of the market, your local geo, does the future look like it's going to be an expansion over here or over there? Does it look like something might not go so well? If you're consistently turning down work because you physically can't handle it all, well, then it's going to be time to grow. So wait till you get to that point. Here's a pro tip. Consider a profit-sharing model with freelancers instead of locking in full-time salaries. That way, your expenses stay flexible and you're only paying for what you need. Scaling smart means growing with your business, not ahead of it. Because trust me, you don't want to be the guy or girl who builds too fast and then has to tear it all down. Oh boy, here we go to number 7 now. Ignoring legal and compliance issues. You got to protect your business from the start. So Chris, as our example, thought he was invincible. He's flying around, taking amazing shots, no insurance, no paperwork, just grooving along. And then bam, his drone malfunctions, crashes into something expensive. And then guess what? He's paying for it out of pocket. Yeah, that's a fun surprise. Here's the mistake. Flying without the proper licenses, insurance, or contracts is like driving a car without a seatbelt while texting and eating a burger. Now, you might feel fine until you're not. So here's the fix. Make sure you get your FAA Part 107 license or whatever is required in your country. Flying commercially without it, that's a no-no. Buy insurance. Now, insurance is optional relative to the FAA, but drones can crash. And when they do, you don't want to be the guy or girl writing the very expensive apology check, do you? And then you want to use contracts. I talked about this in a podcast a few weeks ago. I even put out a template. I'll put a link in today's show liner notes. So you can just click and go right over to the Drone Pilot blog. Help yourself. Hey, I can only put it out there. I can take you to the well. I can't make you drink. I just write the stuff and produce it in hopes that it does something to help fortify your business. God, nothing makes me happier. Use contracts. That means you're going to set clear expectations for scope, payment terms, and deliverables. Don't be ambiguous. Don't be vague. Be straight up. Because I thought we agreed is not going to hold up in court. Pro tip, set reminders for insurance renewals and legal updates. Because nothing ruins your day like finding out you're accidentally breaking the law. So the bottom line is protect yourself. Like I said earlier, the business you save will be your own. A little paperwork now beats a lot of regret later. This one is an absolute missed opportunity. Number 8 is focus on your customer, because poor customer focus is a no-no. You want to deliver outstanding customer service. Here's Linda. She was great at flying the drone, no doubt. She'd deliver amazing footage, pack up and go home. But here's the thing. She wasn't following up with the client. No, hey, how did it go? Or no, would you mind leaving me a review? And guess what? No repeat business for Linda. Linda's light bulb moment came on. Once she started following up with her clients, asking for feedback and testimonials, guess what? Her repeat business train kept coming through. All aboard, right? Linda's business exploded. She wasn't just flying drones. She was building relationships. The mistake, too many pilots think it's all about the footage, but flying the drone is only half the job. If you ignore your clients after the job is done, you miss out on loyalty, you miss out on referrals, and you miss out on repeat business. You lose money. If you just did this one move, you're actually going to make more money than if you didn't do the follow-up move. And I think you understand why, but here's the fix. Here's how you get it done. Communicate early. Okay, that means you're going to set expectations, keep clients in the loop. I drive my clients nuts. No, I don't really, but I'm on the phone. I'm letting them know. I'm leaving a text. We're at the apartment. We're over at the house. We're on the property. We're doing this. We're over here now, because now they're in the loop. They may not respond right away, but at least they now have a timeline. See what I mean? It's not like, oh, yeah, I'll just pay you and then we'll see you when we see you. Keep them in the loop and make sure they know what to expect. And you want to deliver high quality work consistently. It's not enough to just show up. You've got to knock it out of the park every single time. And then finally, you got to follow up. Ask for feedback, testimonials, and a simple, hey, how'd everything go? It shows you care and makes clients want you to come back. And here's a pro tip. Create a feedback loop after every project. This will help you improve. It'll help you show clients you're committed to quality, and it gives them a chance to share their experience. It's a win-win. Bottom line, people remember how you made them feel. Treat your clients like gold, and they'll be back for more. Number 9 is going too fast. Fools rush in. This is scaling too fast. Grow steadily, not chaotically. Remember earlier I said fast and furious or slow and steady. Here's an example. Brian thought he had it all figured out. Good old Brian. He went out and bought 3 drones before he even had a steady stream of clients. Yeah, 6 months later, 2 drones just collecting dust. And that's not the kind of inventory you want. The mistake was scaling too quickly. Scaling too quickly is like running a marathon and tripping over your own shoelaces. You end up wasting money on equipment, staff, or whatever else you don't really need yet. The fix? Number 1, start with essential equipment. Don't buy everything at once. Don't be the early buyer. Oh my God, they got a new DJI. I'm getting it. Like the people that do the Apple, and God bless them all. They go to the Apple store and they're sleeping there for 6 weeks. And then the new phone comes out, and the other phone was perfectly fine. I think I still have my 9S, whatever it is, the Samsung S9. Love it. And I get the pitches all the time. Oh, you need to have the new this and the new that. You know what? It does what I need it to do. When it breaks, I'll go get another one. But that doesn't mean everybody thinks like I do. They got the people that are the first, but they got to get in on it. Start with essential equipment. Be smart when you're starting the business. Remember, it's going to take at least 1.5 years to 3 to 5 before you really get rolling huge. Upgrade as your business grows. We scale our business as it grows, as the demand increases. Number 2, focus on building your client base first. And you can have all the drones in the world, but if you don't have clients, they're just expensive toys. And number 3, reinvest profits strategically. Instead of going, oh, look, I got a paycheck, and then you go out and buy the new. Instead of splurging on more gear, focus on marketing, focus on learning, training, and other areas that will help you grow sustainably. And here's your pro tip. Track gear usage. If you're not using something regularly, don't spend your money on it just yet. Keep your spending tight and smart. Remember, steady growth is the key. Don't try to run before you can walk. Grow at the right pace, and you'll avoid hitting the wall. And finally, this one is a paralyzer. This is the one. Number 10, fear of failure. And this is where you take calculated risks and you keep learning. Here's an example. Alex spent a year staring at his drone, paralyzed by the fear of competition. He kept thinking, what if I'm not ready? Guess what? Once he finally took the plunge, he realized there was more work than he could handle. So why wait? The mistake is letting fear of failure or competition stop you from taking action. This is like standing on the edge of a cliff looking down and never jumping. You're just going to stand there forever. So the fix is start before you feel ready. You'll learn far more by actually doing than by waiting for the perfect moment, because there is no perfect moment. Number 2, you got to embrace failure as feedback. Don't fear it. At least you took the shot. And you won't regret that. You want to have as much info as possible. You want to be as best equipped as you can be. But don't fear it. Use it. Use the feedback and get better. And keep learning. The drone world is constantly changing. Stay updated on the latest tech and business strategies to keep up with the competition. The pro tip here is set small, measurable goals. Achieving those will build confidence and help you gain momentum as you move forward. The only real failure is, like I said, not trying. So get out there, take some risks, and learn as you go. Launching a commercial drone business is not just about flying the drone. It's about building a solid foundation, understanding your market, and being strategic in your approach. Whether you're just starting out or looking to scale, the biggest challenge new drone pilots face is not the technical skill of flying. It's the business acumen to navigate the complexities of running a successful operation. So to wrap things up, here's the takeaway. Launching a drone business is more than just flying a drone. It's about market research, sound financial planning, and a strategic approach. To succeed, avoid these mistakes by building a solid foundation. Understand your market. Manage your finances. Take your time. Do your due diligence. Define a clear business model and grow at a pace that makes sense for you and your business. And most importantly, don't be afraid to learn from failure and keep pushing forward. Check out the show notes for free downloadable items. Don't forget to subscribe to the Drone Pilot MBA podcast, leave a comment, and follow me on social media for more tips on growing your drone business. And if you're ready to take your skills to the next level, check out the courses and resources we have for you at aerialnorthwest.com. Until next time, keep on droning.